this whole idea, like, no coffee, the, ideal birth plan and prep and eat everything that's super healthy. Did you guys do any of that? Like, did you guys guilt yourselves into that or have guilt into?
I followed all the rules the first time. Like, I remember, I was like, I can't. And then I remember this thing. It's like, you can't eat sushi, but then, like, everybody in, like, Japan is eating sushi when they're pregnant. How come I can't eat sushi?
Right.
Don't eat the soft cheeses. Don't eat the deli meats. Don't drink aspartame. Don't have caffeine. Obviously, don't have alcohol. I followed all of them the first time.
Yeah.
I think I got a little bit, like, more chill about everything. And then I was like, oh, you can eat fish when you're eating it from a place that has a good reputation of bringing in fresh fish. Like, things, I got smarter in what I knew about it.
No, that's the experience you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and
It's
it's a
experience.
balance between instinct and experience. And that's why, baby 1, 2, 3 is every different course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fully lied to my doctor, the doctor's appointment with the baby, because I was like, and you're breastfeeding, right? And it was like 4 months in, I was like, I wasn't, but I lied.
And then she called me and she's like, I lied to the doctor.
I just lied to the doctor. I just lied to the doctor about what I was doing, because the judge, it's like, not are you are breastfeeding, right? And you're like, yeah, for sure I am. No, I wasn't anymore, because at some point you have to put your mental health over, like, who's this for? Because I think a lot of moms get really isolated, and you desperately, you don't know if they're getting enough. You have to trust the process, and as a new mom, that's really hard to know they're trusting the process, because everyone is like, if they're crying, feed them, and you're like, fed them,
and so
and it is experience, not just instinct.
For sure.
I think instinct is, moms know more of a full picture. Like, they know something's not right, but I think it's because we have put so much on us.
Yeah.
And I think some mums can, like, have, it's like the natural instincts are a lot, like, louder and stronger, but some of them are really just totally lost, and everyone's like, just listen to your instincts. Like, but I don't know what they are. Like, I feel so confused. I'm tired and I don't know what's right.
Welcome to the first 7 years, where we explore the science of early childhood development.
And today's episode is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical device. And of course, we're very thrilled to welcome two powerhouse moms, authors, humorists, Cat and Nat. I'm never going to remember who is who, so
Doesn't
I'm not going to
matter.
bother trying.
Doesn't matter. I'm beside you, Cat, and Nat.
Perfect.
That makes sense, right?
And I love cats. We're cat people at home. So there we go. That's my little... you guys are known for your hilarious honesty. Can't wait to open this conversation up. And massive community of moms worldwide. You guys are here to talk about the myths of perfect parenting. Right?
Yep. So, best friends, moms of 7 kids between them, and the viral duo behind Cat and Nat Unfiltered. They are best-selling authors, mom truths, hosts of a hit podcast, and creators of sold-out live shows that mix comedy, real talk, and raw honesty about motherhood. Their mission is to dismantle the idea of the perfect mom and remind parents they're not alone. Welcome to you both.
Welcome,
Thank
guys.
you for having us.
And, of course, social media tells us, this notion that parenting should look effortless, right? It's something that I feel, reality's messy. So we're going to dive deep into that and unpack, sort of why perfection is not only normal, but it's actually necessary. I think part of good overall balance and health. And with this unfiltered perspective, of course, we'll explore some science, because we can't get away from science on this show. And some humor behind the food fights and sleepless nights and stress and everything else in between that you guys come from separately and together from a farm of 7. A farm of 7.
I like that.
But before we get into this, we always have a segment on the show called Dr. Murray's Signature Thoughts. And he is going to weigh in on sort of what's trending in the mind of Dr. Murray Clark.
Yeah. But this obviously is tailor-made for you both.
I can't wait.
So, overall, parenting anxiety is at an all-time high. Studies show 70% or more of mothers feel judged daily. Picky eating affects up to 50% of preschoolers. Research shows repeated exposure and family modeling matter more than superfoods. Sleep deprivation in kids under 5 is linked to behavior issues, but routines and light exposure can reset circadian rhythms. Parental stress is biologically, emotionally contagious. Literally, children absorb it.
Right.
So I started with this to show all of the different things that parents work with, deal with, should be aware of in some way. But didn't want to zero on any one thing in particular because you are masters of the whole universe. And so this was just a show and a starting point for the discussion to follow.
Parents, home, environment, emotion, mind, screen time, sleep, school, diet, food. That's a really cool outer circle.
That's
And then within the
exhausting.
middle- It is.
That's not even the offshoots of all the things
Of
you
all
have
those-
to worry about.
I don't, first of all, know
within
how moms do it. We're
this
two guys.
thing.
We're two guys chatting on a podcast all about the virtues of eating healthy and living healthy. And it takes a lot. Not just the proverbial village, but how you guys handle it. Here, we often refer to moms, women in the, I guess, sort of more structural family scenario as the CEOs of healthcare. So, I mean, I know what it is to have a patient in front of me and have this case and then move on to the next case. But you guys have like 7 cases between you. First of all, let's start there. Let's go back. So Cat and Nat. Who are Cat and Nat? And you guys are like on like a world tour right now. What's happening with you? Like what's the backstory of the Cat and Nat?
Actually, it's along the lines of when you were just talking about like perfect parenting and how things need to be messy. When we first became moms, we were the first of all of our friends to have babies, and we just thought it was going to be a certain way, and it didn't turn out being that way. And we ended up reaching out to each other and getting back in touch and just like hanging out and talking about like the truth, because everyone else seems to be so perfect and everything seems, marriages and children and babies, it seemed so like effortless, and it didn't feel that way for us. So when we started talking to each other about the truth of it all, we were like, oh my gosh, this is so refreshing to be able to talk about it. And at that time, like we were stay-at-home moms, but we were, we felt like being honest and talking to moms about what was really going on was something that people were craving. And at that time, people were doing like, there was mommy bloggers, and Kat and I aren't, even though we're best-selling authors, we're not really writers. So we wanted to do videos that were the opposite of everything we were seeing on Pinterest that was showing like the perfect mom. And we wanted to get out there and be like, actually, this is what's happening, and we're not afraid to say it because we know deep down you're all feeling it. And so we just sort of the videos started going viral, like, oh my gosh, finally somebody isn't the perfect mom, and nobody is. And so that's kind of how it started for us. Yeah. Fast forward, one thing led to another.
And that resonates with people because imperfection is healthy, and that's part of what we're talking about today. It's a very healthy thing to be imperfect, and I think that's unfortunately we came off a show a couple of minutes ago, literally, that we're talking about this phenomenon where most of what we see, false reality, exists on the 4 screens, and the Instagrams and TikToks and all that makes us guilts us into doing certain things, right?
Sure.
Do men feel? Do you guys fall for that?
Do you feel guilty in parenting?
Do you feel
so it depends on the context. If it's about my own children and what I'm doing for them, certainly, obviously, this lands very close to both of us, or close to home, because we want to do everything we possibly can for our patients, but even more so for our kids. So if it was avoiding phthalates and dioxins and furans and too much, chemicals and pesticides in fish and food, I'd be more conscious about choice. In fact, actually, by the way, I was called Mr. Mom. When we had our first, I was like that guy. I came home, and the first thing I asked my wife, she hated me for it, was, how many times did you breastfeed today? That was me.
You need a nipple.
Yeah,
like you needed to be it needed to be you.
Yeah. It was hard for her, by the way.
Yes.
It wasn't easy.
It's hard.
Oh my
It is
gosh,
always
yes.
hard. It's never easy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't say that it's hard, so it looks so easy for everyone else.
By the way, either of you have latching problems? I know that's an intimate
Yes,
question, but
yes,
So and
yes.
everyone
Oh my gosh,
does,
yes.
right? Dr. Jack Newman. Does his name ring a bell?
Yes.
I feel like, yeah.
Yes.
This guy comes in. You'd appreciate this. You don't maybe not know him because we're all Torontonians here,
Yeah.
and here's how he would teach you, literally. Okay, like he would say, no. He's not going to find it. You have to show it, the kid.
I'm like,
the
who's it? The baby.
Right. You have to show it what's happening. So his technique was pretty much, don't quote me. Open the chin and smack
The
that
nurses,
mouth.
the nurses actually do that to you the minute you have the baby.
Right.
You don't even, they manhandle you.
But you forget that because you're traumatized. You just had
Oh, of course, I
football.
forgot. I did not forget. I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Well, and also for that, so everything I learned up until having the first baby was do your best to breastfeed the breast is best. Keep working on it. Keep working on it. And I was like, okay, I absolutely like formula felt like the poison.
The devil.
Then I have the baby, and immediately the baby starts losing weight, and I feel like I'm breastfeeding, but I hear it comes in like in a couple of days, and the nurse is like, you have to stay another night. Now you stay there and pump, and then give her this little cup of formula. And I'm like, what?
To finish off, like to top up?
Yeah, and I was like, but I thought this was like the poison, and now it's my first day being a mom, and now you're telling me to supplement with formula while pumping here and then breastfeed in between. Don't sleep, but just go through this rotation. And I was like, this feels like totally the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing. Like,
And the judgment is so hard for moms. I fully lied to my doctor at the doctor's appointment with the baby because I was like, and you're breastfeeding, right? And it was like 4 months in. I was like, I wasn't. But I lied.
And then she called me and she's like, I lied to the doctor.
I just lied to the doctor. I just lied to the doctor about what I was doing because the judge, it's like, not are you are breastfeeding, right? And you're like, yeah, for sure I am. No, I wasn't anymore because at some point you have to put your mental health over, like, who's this for? Because I think a lot of moms get really isolated and you desperately... You don't know if they're getting enough. You have to trust the process. And as a new mom, that's really hard to know they're trusting the process because everyone is like, if they're crying, feed them, feed them. And you're like, I fed them.
Yeah, and so,
you know?
So full circle to your question, guilty, I don't think it was much less guilty, much more maybe instructional, like hope, like, so that, anyways, bad and wrong of me. But myth number one, let's debunk this because we're going to do a lot of that on this segment. Don't infants lose some weight early days? I mean, is that part of the kind of first few months post?
Yeah, I think the first month, each child, each mother has their own agenda, their own schedule. So it doesn't have to be day 1, day 2, day 3. I think just allowing nature to take its course is usually the best avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, but how does a mom know how to like how to follow that? Like, just let nature take over.
Yeah, that's very ideal.
Yeah.
It is ideal. But
Very hard.
Okay, yeah. Especially when you're being told what to do by 5 other people or 50 other people at the same time.
Doctor, nurse, mother-in-law, mother, friend.
But let me ask you the question. So how was, baby number 2, number 3 different than baby number 1 for you?
If I remembered, I would tell you.
But I guess you're alluding to, we all know what he's alluding to, and that is that you let nature take over and like, or natural consequence, evolve more than you would have first child, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all know that to be true.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
I think though you get more confidence too,
Right.
when you get into it and you know that they're going to be okay. But
And to trust your instinct.
No. I think instinct's not the best.
No?
Because I think sometimes I think it's more than instinct because I think men also should have, I think when you say mother's instinct, it's so much pressure on the mom to know everything. And it is experience, not just instinct.
For sure.
I think instinct is, I think moms know more of a full picture. Like they know something's not right, but I think it's because we have put so much on us.
Yeah.
And I think some moms can it's like the natural instincts are a lot like louder and stronger, but some of them are really just totally lost, and everyone's like, just listen to your instincts. Like, but I don't know what they are. Like, I feel so confused. I'm tired, and I don't know what's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's take this back a couple of months because I feel like we've just birthed 7 kids. But let's go back to pregnancy perfection. This whole idea, like no coffee, the ideal birth plan, and prep, and eat everything that's super healthy. Did you guys do any of that? Like, did you guys guilt yourselves into that or have guilt into?
I followed all the rules the first time.
Like you stopped smoking and doing crack, or what?
Did I? I don't.
Yeah,
I
like
don't,
I remember, like I was like, I can't. And then I remember this thing. It's like you can't eat sushi, but then like everybody in like Japan is eating sushi when they're pregnant. How come I can't eat sushi?
Right.
Don't eat the soft cheeses. Don't eat the deli meats. Don't drink aspartame. Don't have caffeine. Obviously, don't have alcohol. I followed all of them the first time.
And second time?
You?
I think I got a little bit like more chill about everything, and then I was like, oh, you can eat fish when you're eating it from a place that has a good reputation of bringing in fresh fish. Like things, I got smarter in what I knew about it.
No, that's the experience you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is
and it's
experience.
a balance between instinct and experience. And that's why, baby 1, 2, 3 is every different course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. And
Yeah,
I think when you
experience.
say intuition, you're supposed to just get it. And I think you earn it and you learn it and then you begin to know, especially when you have a newborn. And if they're sick, it's like you don't know because you've never had a sick child before. If there's a fever, if they're, and the doctor seems so chill and you're like, this isn't normal.
It's the end of the world.
And then they're like, you'll know, but you don't know because you've never known if something's not right.
Right.
So it's like this weird thing is like, but I won't know. And then when you know, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't know until you know,
Like,
if that makes
when
sense.
I was younger, when people used to talk about
crash
birth
course.
order, I didn't really understand that there was such a difference between the first child and the third
Oh
child.
my God, this is a thing, like astrology.
Oh my God. But I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, people just say it. Like, I'm sure kids are all treated the same until I had my babies.
Right.
And then I realized, like, oh my
The
gosh.
way they're raised, what you give them,
Yeah.
how they,
Yeah.
everything's.
So you're all over the first, to put it into sort of context of geographical. Like, you're all over the first. The second's kind of like, where are they? Did I have a third? Wait, like, what is their
Yeah.
name? And but here's the thing, right? So with this day and age and tech and everything else, it's a quick Dr. Google, nurse Twitter, whatever, TikTok, and there is some legitimacy to all of what you just said. But what I feel is missing out there is something that puts this into hierarchical context. So, for example, here's what I'm going to. So you just said, like, you stopped eating sushi. I actually think that's really important. I think that heavy metal burden, again, mercury. And by the way, just so you know, one of the best ways for a female to detoxify heavy metals. This is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Getting pregnant.
Oh.
Because the fetus absorbs everything. It literally takes your heavy metal burden and your sushi eating habits and absorbs it. So I would say that's kind of up there in terms of priority,
Do you
right?
eat sushi?
But, well, I do, but not. It's so funny because I get held.
He
I
eats
can walk
sushi,
out
but
of
he doesn't get pregnant.
right. That's
Try-
true.
you
So
should
I don't have to
try
worry
that.
about
You know what I mean? You should try that, Mr. Mom.
So, one of my favorite quotes of all, and I don't think everyone's been attributed to this. I think it's unknown. They've given all kinds of people, as they typically do, the attribution. But it's everything in moderation, including moderation itself. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, actually, that's a good theme for this show episode. Everything in moderation, including moderation itself. So, do I eat sushi? Hell yeah. And do I enjoy, red wine? Yeah. But it's in moderation, and again, just back to pregnancy. I think by consuming fish that are otherwise not necessarily properly selected, and there's all kinds of there's the environmental working group. You can check this out. You can look at food sources and all kinds of things. What is maybe up here on a list of something to be concerned about, maybe even over cleaning products in your home, or I don't know what else. But this is my point: is some of these things you're talking about need, some of them have higher justification for being aware of than others. And no, there isn't a good resource. I'm just going to be honest.
That's it.
There's no good resource
Not
for
one-stop shop for finding out what's the most important things to worry about when you're pregnant.
I will say, though, by the way, just to throw it out there, these are two sources that we just love to reference on the show anytime we're looking for evidence. And one is called Open Evidence. So I'll just show people where to go.
I was like, ChatGPT.
Versus, what's interesting? It is AI driven.
Yeah, I was teasing. But
no, it's important because most of these things are Open Evidence. OpenEvidence.com. This is something, followed by, the Ivy Leagues and elitists of the medical and evidence or scientific community, and consensus.app. Anyway, what this is, because of course language models and chat bots and all these different things, they're delusional half the time. You're asking them parenting advice, for example, and they may not really know. These are consolidated evidence-based databases.
So you're going to put that in the bottom of the podcast so we can all find that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, look, I don't know. Let's say, should I still eat sushi when pregnant?
And this is all medical.
Yeah. So this is now what it'll
So
do.
you trust this?
Well, I do, and that's why I was mentioning it. But So now, perfect example. So guess what?
100%.
So check this out.
My
So
next
this is.
baby.
I didn't know. You never know what it's going to do or say. Sometimes it actually makes a recommendation for an even better question. But here's what it's saying. It drew immediately on 5 studies because this is limited. So N of 5 studies, and I can limit this, by the way, to double-blind, placebo-controlled, blah blah blah. But it limited it to some of the better studies, and then it'll give you a percentage of yes, a percentage of possibly, a
Zero.
percentage. This is 0. So don't
Zero.
see.
So Natalie, no.
Could you even narrow it down to the country you're living in?
You could, yeah.
Maybe that
you
doesn't
could
matter.
you extend it to in North America,
Right.
And I think you're asking that because
You did
is
it.
it
So
better
are you
quality?
screwing? Did you screw your kids up?
By the way, do you call her Natalie when you're like upset
When
with
she's
her?
in trouble. Natalie.
Because I just heard the full. Because it's like Cat and Nat. It's like,
Natalie.
Are you like?
When I'm nervous or scared or unsure. Natalie.
Yeah.
So it's when your mom's in trouble.
Yeah.
I never got that because my name's not hyphenatable. If that's even a word, it's
yeah.
just Bryce. I do answer to Bruce on occasion, though.
I have called you Bruce a few times.
Yeah.
I'm not
and
gonna
I
lie.
probably answered without even, correcting you. It doesn't matter. But yeah, but waterways are ubiquitous. So all of the furans and dioxins and heavy metals. If you're eating this in Japan, and by the way, they often will raise their fish in moats and then keep them isolated, which is why they may be cleaner. But otherwise, sushi, pregnancy, no go.
Okay.
Northern Hemisphere, forget about it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll tell our daughters.
How about the the early sort of food chaos of what you feed your
Yes.
children? I mean, besides, of course, we touched upon formulas and things like that. But did you guys did you guys ever engage in the gluten-free, dairy-free model of?
No.
No, it was just more pizza and ice cream cake.
It was always moderate. I think it was moderate. We were more moderate parents.
Yeah.
Like we are just, I think, like 80-20. We're perfect 80-20 people. I think
Yeah.
we're 80% is great, 20% is not great, and you do what you can knowing that each kid is unique with their own systems, right? Like, some kids they just have different ways that they fire and the different ways that and different hormones at different ages and different, when your kids are younger. Some people are like, they can't eat this because I see this right away. We don't have that issue with our kids. There's not, we don't see direct reactions to things. But I would say that
We did sort of we just introduced the foods as we were kind of told to or read a book about it. But then we got so lucky, and I don't know, I feel like I feel bad sometimes saying this to other parents because maybe we just got lucky. But Kat and I really enjoy food, and we enjoy fruits and vegetables, and we have fresh food, and we're lucky enough to be able to afford to have all of that. And our kids, I feel like because they watched us that they like different kinds of foods, and they weren't particularly picky eaters. But I feel like we might. I think it's because we led by example and showed them all the stuff when we had everything. We made them delicious. We put salt, butter,
and food,
dip.
and gave them dip, and
Yeah.
we made food for them. We didn't just try to feed them nutrition.
Yeah,
if
our
that makes
friends
sense.
would be like,
No,
my
that makes
kids
sense.
hate broccoli, and then we'd go over and they'd have the baby carrots and broccoli steamed beside boiled
Over-steamed.
chicken, and then we're like,
Over.
my kids love your broccoli. Well, it's because we made it delicious.
Yeah, we'll make broccoli, and our kids, all of their friends will eat. I'll have to make double the batch. And what'd you put in it? And I'm like, butter.
Yeah.
Butter.
Yeah. You know
It's
what, one of our-
delicious.
I
One
think
of our-
the key word here is made, that you actually made
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah, yeah.
We make them food, and they
And they're
eat
good,
it.
and they're good eaters.
One of our favorite authors, we've mentioned him on the show in the past. In fact, one of our our director Mike Danielson's favorite authors, because of this slogan, is this: Michael Pollan, eat food, not too much, mainly plants. And that is a great summary, especially when you're making it in the home with love and care, and it's homemade. That's hard to go wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really words of advice. Did either of the kids, by the way, in each of your separate together litters, did any of yours call you mom?
Litters.
Or yours call her mom? Or did they,
No, but they call
No.
our mom's grandma.
Yeah, both mom's grandma. Our husbands have the same name, so they're both Mark. And they would just.
My son calls me by my first name.
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too. My kids call
Really?
they call me
and
Nat
so
or Natalie.
Kat, yeah, they're funny.
being-
They're funny
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
they're being funny.
Yeah,
But I also think they know when you're in a group of people and everyone's like, Mom, 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 if you want to cut through and they just say our names, we know they're talking to us.
yeah, they do say that.
I caught my kids doing that a couple of times. Yeah, that's funny.
They have a nickname. They have nicknames for us.
Besides Cat and Nat.
Yeah, he calls me Katrine. He's like, Katrine.
Oh, I
Max
thought it was
is-
maybe something we'd have to edit out.
No. He's like, Katrine. I'm like, yes, Max. He loves Katrine. I'm like, okay, sure, go with
Katrine.
Is
it.
there French back?
No, but all of his friends call me it too. They're like, Katrine. I'm like, oh boy, yeah.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
was just thinking when we were, in the beginning when you put that up when we were talking about picky eaters, and I feel like moms always talk to us like, oh, my kid is a picky eater. Like, is there a better way for a parent to feel better about what they're doing than just being like, ugh, I have a picky eater? I feel like that's so what does that really mean? And should they really be worried about that? And they're like, I just can't change it.
Like I have a picky eater, but she's also the youngest, and then their tastes change. But if you focus on it, then they love to be the picky eater. So it's almost like you can't focus too much on the picky eater, and then you just
accommodate them.
You just keep serving, and if they don't like it, I mean, eventually they'll try and be like, I like that. You're like, I knew you would, you know.
But I don't really know how to help them except for I'm like, make your food taste better.
Yeah, they don't. They're not good cooks.
So something you guys said a couple of minutes ago, which is appreciate individuality. By the way, I'm on a branded site right now. I won't even mention what site this is. It's just a food introduction schedule because I want Dr. Marie to comment on this because there are good sites and then there are silly sites. The introduction schedule is insane. Not only is it definitely nuanced toward individuals that it should be, like, meaning if you understand your child may have gluten intolerance and or dairy intolerance, by the way, is a very popular gene. 55% of the world's dairy intolerant, just so you know.
How do you know? You just poo your pants.
Genetic analysis. Oh, you just fart a lot at midnight. You just like it's.
So my son is definitely gluten intolerant or dairy intolerant.
But his farts are loud, but they don't smell. Is that okay?
It's fun. He likes it. It's on demand.
And that's the other qualifier. They usually reek to high heaven. Like fermented milk. I mean, a baby's poop, right? It's a 99%, mom's milk. I mean, that's a smelly. Point is, because this is a thing, individual to food, not just what foods, but this. Just comment on the silliness of the food introduction schedule, where most parents really should be.
Yeah.
I mean, general, and it's been this way, historically in America forever. Carbohydrates are the first food, which is just ridiculous. So, as soon as you start with carbohydrates, you're already priming their whole glycemic, sugar index, uptake, the whole thing, which creates that sweetness, which then creates picky eaters. So it's a downhill slope from the beginning. You look at other cultures and even look at smart pediatricians in America, like Dr. Bill Sears, who was one of the first to come out and say, 6 months, first food is avocado.
All right.
I feel like we were part of that. I feel like that was our genre, avocado. I remember avocado in our lives. It's got a
neutral taste. It's got all the fatty acids for the brain to grow, which is the main organ growing. So 6 months avocado.
And you can feed it fresh because it's soft and easy for them to eat.
Right? Yeah. And then 7 months salmon. Start the protein, start the essential fatty acids.
That's a aha moment for a lot of people, believe it or not, like salmon at 7 months, what? Yeah. But this is the antithesis of what we should be doing. I will mention this is the CDC, because this is a go-to what, when, and how to introduce solid foods. And you see this baby being fed rice. This is just, by the way, it's the exact opposite. So I guess what we're getting at is there's the genetic influence, the individual, but then there's also what applies to the majority of the planet, which is you shouldn't introduce grains, and you shouldn't really, the majority of us be, by the way, the reason why we're dairy intolerant is after the age of 2, we don't need lactase.
Oh, you're talking to the right girl over there.
To break down, wait, are you?
She doesn't like milk.
No, and I grew up drinking milk, but I've never given my kids a glass of milk. I don't even know if
that's right or wrong. This was another question, because you guys brought your 7-Up together, right? It was a crossover. And by the way, my wife has 2 sisters, both of which are older, but within about 10 years, and they are just like you two. Like, they live each other's lives, and they're together, and it's beautiful. And so I had essentially an extension on my 2 children of like 9 other nieces and nephews.
Right.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Great. Yeah.
Always just like Friday night dinners are like, it's a football game.
Yes.
So, but did you guys ever disagree on and were you ever the grandma to her kids, like giving treat? No.
She always has the treats. My kids would go and get. I don't like candy. Like, I'm not a candy girl. I'm a chocolate girl. She loves candy, so candy's a lot more accessible because it's smaller, and so they go to her house and find the candy. But our kids, we could have a million. I still have Halloween candy from last year in my house. Like, they don't need it.
We never really held it back. Like, kids come to our house and they raid our closets, and they're like, I can't believe you have like all this stuff in your house and you guys don't eat it all. Yeah, they don't eat their Halloween candy.
No, they don't eat their Easter candy.
Sometimes they just want to get the bag of candy. They're not even interested in eating it.
No,
they just want to get it to get it.
Yeah, they're super just, if they have, it's weird. Our kids had access and they don't want it.
Yeah.
How'd your kids sleep? How did everyone sleep in the households? Were you guys sleeping over at each other's place? Like,
no, they don't like sleepovers. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, they like their own beds.
Tonight, my daughter was
invited. All of them?
Yeah. All of them.
So where did that come from?
They don't even, they don't go to sleep. We really have really lovely bed routines sleep routines from the beginning. And we set that up.
And we love bed. Yeah. And they love bed, even to the point where my daughter's like, I want a sleepover. I'm like, okay. tonight she was supposed to go, and then I called her back, and I'm like, hey, just bring your stuff. And she's like, I don't have to. I'm like, oh, you don't want to? I was like, okay, your dad will pick you up. She's like, yeah, I don't need to. I was like, oh, okay.
They really like the routine of bed. We've kept it consistent. We were really consistent in the beginning.
I think it's also you teach them to like check in because the next day's a write-off, right? Like, so you just kind of like they understand. Everyone talks about sleep now. Like, it's
but this
not
is so
a
refreshing to hear.
secret.
This is what I was just going to say. We don't often come across, because I mean, in my personal humble opinion, kind of these things flip around sometimes, but it's exercise, diet, sleep. I mean, in that order, very close together. But how important is sleep?
Yeah.
And especially for kids.
I think sleep's the most important for actually children.
Neural development. Well, by the way, there's certain things that happen at night that actually don't happen in the day for your brain.
That's what I tell the kids. I'm like, you're not going to grow if you don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
No, and it's not just growth, the brain, but also really the unknown secret of sleep is the immune system.
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as we go to sleep, the immune system goes into a whole different program, goes through a whole reset, cleans out the debris from the day before, primes the day, immune system for the day next day, and you're away again. So unless you're sleeping, your immune system is not functioning properly.
Yeah, I
number
cannot agree. We
So
are
would that
very,
be like some of those kids that are like, those kids are always sick? Maybe they're not getting the best
It's a
sleep.
part of it. It's a huge part of
100%.
it. Yeah.
By the way, there's something called, most people don't know this, there's something called the glymphatic system. You guys have heard of the lymphatic system, but the glymph, G-L-Y, glymph are glial cells in the brain, non-thinking cells, and they are responsible for, as Dr. Murray just described, literally detoxifying the brain from day-to-day stuff. And we're not talking about the ethereal like smokestacks and what they plume out, or the heavy
just
metals.
metabolic
It's literally
waste,
metabolic. You eat, breathe, live, you're making toxins in your brain. Guess what? They don't leave your brain unless you sleep, and specifically sleep stage 3 and 4. So that's the detox process at night. And if the kid's not getting enough sleep, and this is any age and stage, right, for them, because obviously,
And adults.
the brain doesn't work.
So sleep
Brain
is
dies.
important.
Sleep is.
Well, I never want to judge anybody else's parenting style or anything, but for me, I slept trained my kids. By like 3 months, they were sleeping 12 hours. They were in bed at 7, waking up at 7. Naps were the exact same time. Like it was better for me. It was better for them. When they were upset, I would know it's not because they were tired. For me, it just felt like it was for both of us. I knew it was good for them. I'm pretty sure it was, but it was definitely good for me too.
Yeah. So what was the sleep training that you did?
It was like it was all about it was about routine, but then it was about weaning off the food during the night and putting the calories into the day so that they could go without waking up hungry.
Yeah.
This was my book. Might be a little outdated. I just told you my kids are 18 and 20
Wait,
now.
that's the same book.
Is it?
Isn't
Okay,
it?
so this was
I
a
have
game
that book.
changer.
I
Healthy
don't know.
sleep, healthy sleep habits, happy child. So
I feel like we have that
when
book.
I read this book,
I've seen this book.
I have that book.
We have this book.
yeah, I read this book, and it was hell. It was torture. But three, maybe 4 nights in a row, both our kids. I was like talk about dad and like maybe a little bit helicopterish first kid. I was wanting so badly to run in the room and like rescue him, but it was literally just letting him bawl his eyes out because he was fed, he was comfortable, he was da-da-da. And it was 2 or 3 days in, I was it. He slept 12 hours
This is so
straight.
controversial.
I know, because I remember someone saying, I don't want to let that happen because I have heard that if I do that, then I'm going to create anxiety in the baby that's going to last for the rest of their lives. I'm like, but what about your anxiety trying to
Well,
have to wake
exactly.
up all night long?
No, it's a unit. It's a household.
Yeah.
It's not just this one new entity, right? Everyone's got to sleep. And
Yeah, and if mom's tired and can't make proper decisions to take care of her kids, then nothing's going to be good in the house.
Well, and how often is it colic, for example? How often is, or maybe something of serious concern that you have to go and tend?
The least, you're looking under 10% probably. Unless there's some, obvious food allergy going on. But most of the time, it's not the real issue.
Was there a, I'm certainly not going to call out names here, obviously don't name it, but was there like the biggest health challenge with any of the 7? Was there like the one kid who was like always sick?
Yes. Yes.
And how did you, what happened? How did you manage it? How did you?
Oh my, it's kind of a crazy story, but he has the weirdest thing called myositis.
Oh.
So it's viral and it's idiopathic and it just comes after a fever and it's like it happens every time he has a fever.
His legs don't work.
He stops walking.
Yeah.
Literally stops walking. So I called the doctor, and he's like, no, it's not this, it's not this. And I took him to the doctor, and then I kept doing research. And then they wanted me to go to like a neurologist, and I was like, it's myositis. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. He's like, let's go to Sick Kids, get a blood test. We go to Sick Kids, and his spike proteins, he's like, so it was myositis. You were right. His spike proteins are like 4 times what they should be. And then like within a week, he's back to normal. Fever again. They're like, no, it doesn't keep happening. I'm like, well, it did. And so it happens when he gets, what's it called? Like vaccines. Whenever his body kind of has to fight something, he goes through the frickin' roof, and then we have to bring it back down again to the point where he does not walk. Like, he can't walk. He can't bend his legs, can't move. He crawls up the stairs. I'm like, this is wild. And I know we have to be careful of dehydration or like something shutting down in his, like, he has to just,
What age when it first happened?
2.
And was it following a vaccine, or was it?
I don't know. Like he had pneumonia early. He was a 11-pound baby, an emergency C-section. I know that everyone has a theory on like how they come out.
Yep.
And he crouped. Like he had crouped to the point where we were code bluing in Sunnybrook because he just operated. Like they didn't even have the masks for him. Like
Right.
he's massive, and we started Ben Med. I'm not allowed to say that, but we did a functional place where we basically cleaned him out. He was so inflamed. He was on Advil every day. Like he had, we thought he had food allergies. We went to Sick Kids for food allergies, and then they said he had mast
cell.
after idiopathic mast cell from COVID.
Okay.
The doctor was like, I have seen this in kids.
Yeah, mast
She's
cell
like,
activation syndrome is actually more and more common these days for a bunch of
So
reasons.
they gave him an EpiPen in case, because he would act like it was anaphylactic. She said 2 years will be gone. 2 years to the date, it was gone. We took out gluten, we took out everything. We cleaned everything up.
We tested his poop. We sent his poop
everything.
away.
He did have an old parasite. We did everything, okay? We just cleaned the kid up because he was on Advil daily. We thought we did MRIs, we did x-rays because we couldn't figure out, but everyone was just diagnosing his joint, like the knee problem, as like a joint rather than
The root cause.
the root cause. So we went on a very big journey with him, and we cleaned everything up, and I swear he grew
Thriving.
like
The good news is thriving.
But the
He
crazy thing is having to like she is the kind of person who like devoted so much research and time into it. I always said to her like I don't know how another mom would know what to do or be able to
no
take
one
the time
knew
to do this.
because it's not normal. Everything he was is not normal. Like he would wake up crying and need an Advil in his knees. Like nothing was normal. I'm like, this is so. He couldn't do gym and hockey at night. Like it was not normal.
The reason I have this mitochondrion up on the screen right now, though, is that
feel like this is
myositis
science
It's a very
class.
right back into 11th grade biology here for a second. But so this is an organelle, and there's dozens of organelles. So we have organs, and cells have organelles, and the mitochondria makes the currency of energy for us, ATP. And in myositis, along with a bunch of other idiopathic, which just means doctors don't know why this occurs, pseudo autoimmune presentations, this is the underpinning. And it's damage and or inflammation, oxidative stress to these guys, immunologically based in many cases, shuts them down, and it's the energy pathways, if you will. We know this is the citric acid cycle, that start to shut down. And so that acute presentation, it's called an acute of a
That
chronic
keeps coming back.
condition,
Yeah.
right? Reoccurrence is off. So, anyways, I'm just sharing this outwardly here is because supporting the mitochondria.
I was
and
going to
or-
say it's supplements that really
yeah.
we began to do supplements and like detox.
What helped? I mean, what helped? What do you? I mean, there's never going to be one thing like a needle.
No, I actually think there is a lot that helps. Like, I think cleaning everything out to see where your baseline is, because you sort of have to rule things out. And then we went to a functional clinic that and looked at whole picture, right? Like you have to look at, I learned, and concurrently my daughter had a concussion at the same
God.
time. So we were living, and he kind of just slipped in because we were always there for her. And then we began to be like, they're like, wow, let's look at this, and this. But you have to look at the nervous system. You have to look at everything in one, and then sort of like start to peel it apart. It's exhausting. It's the right person. You have to believe in it. Not everyone's going to believe in it, right? You have to understand that your body works as a whole. If you don't believe in that, then there's nothing you can do.
Right.
For what I did. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I could tell someone what I did and they'd be like, you're a total psycho. Like that doesn't work. But if you believe, I mean, I saw what happened to him.
I would say I would change total psycho to total scientist.
Well, I think.
Really, that's what you did.
Yeah, well,
You did. You went one layer after another. That's what science is.
Yeah.
You just keep drilling down until you find the root cause.
When
That's
you,
medicine. That's
when
real
you
medicine.
come across like something where your kid doesn't fit into the box, and I think there was one other kid out of Boston who had what he had after a virus. Like this was way back when. I've heard it. I think it's to Instagram. Everyone's like, my kid has that too. I'm so glad
there's
you
a lot
told
more
me.
coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, which is so nice to hear. When I share it, everyone's like, "Oh my God, thank you!" Because you're so afraid to say it out loud because everyone's like, "Cancer." Right? If your kid can't walk and explain, like it's right away something terrible. But when you go back to intuition, I knew it was doable. Does that make sense? I was never like, oh my, I never went to the depths of fear. I was just like, we'll figure it out. I knew I could figure it out, and I knew we just had to take steps. I knew I had to find the right people to help figure it out, and it wasn't traditional medicine. And if you meet someone who can do both, you've won. Like who can address both and help with both.
That's why I call you guys the CEOs of healthcare, because you don't necessarily always have the answer, but you quickly lobby for the best team around you to get that answer and maintain that positive attitude as best you can. Mom's intuition, again, that kind of goes back to that. I mean, automatically, it's not like an automatic. This is what I've seen with my own wife, mother of my two kids. Somehow intuitively they know. They don't even know they know.
Yeah, I will say the doctor said to me, I always trust a mom. That's why I sent you to sick kids. He's like, they often know more than I know as a doctor. And he's like, I'm glad you went. In his practice, he had never seen, because usually it's a condition they get forever, right? Like not just after a fever and then they're fine.
The body, it's an autoimmune, pseudo-autoimmunity.
So he wanted to go to a neurologist. I'm like, I think that's a bit aggressive right now. Because it doesn't, he's totally healthy otherwise. So I'm like, let's not go there yet. Let's just keep it where we can manage it and see what happens.
What about the notion, though? So baby grows inside of you for 9 months. During that time, you're sharing everything.
Yeah, I didn't eat sushi. I can tell you right now. I still don't eat it.
I'm talking internally, mentally, physically, emotionally, the whole thing. So I think that sets up a communication that goes beyond the mind. That's where the intuition comes from.
Where you know them.
Because you're actually a part of each other.
Yeah.
You resonate at the same frequency. You resonate in the same way.
Yeah, there is biology to it, where you'll hear a cry and you know right away it's not the right cry.
Yeah.
You're like, that is not that. They're fine. They are not fine.
I even all the time I'll hear that with I've got 3 boys and there's just like everyone's down there playing mini sticks and wrestling, and then someone will hear like some sort of a cry and they'll be like, TJ's not okay down there. I'm like, I know when TJ's not okay. No, but he looks like he's really he's not even moving.
Faker.
I
What's
know
the
that
split, boys to girls in the
3 girls, 4 boys.
3 girls? Oh, so it's right down the middle. How about the antithesis of that unfortunate, thank goodness he's better these days, scenario where he's, challenged? Is there one in the rugby team that's ultimately super healthy and nothing affects her or he?
I would say all of them are pretty healthy.
we don't have any allergies. We don't have any medical, we haven't had, knock on wood, there's been nothing yet. They're all just pretty.
That's amazing.
He's healthy until he gets something, and then he gets something weird. But then he's healthy. He's a AAA hockey player. He's totally everything is perfect until we get a sickness, and it's actually he's getting better at it.
Yeah,
He's not going down as hard. He's getting sick and not losing his legs. It's great.
The scariest thing that happened, I guess, my kid when he was under 2 and he had a seizure, and I'd never heard of febrile seizures before, and I wish that I had heard, but it's like if you don't know anyone who had it, and then
scary.
He had it, really scary, and then everyone's like, oh, that's what that is. It's no big deal. I'm like, oh, well, I wish I'd heard about that before. In the middle of the night, we heard him having a seizure, and then he had it one more time and never again.
It's very common and very benign.
But
no, you didn't know, but it's scary as hell.
Yeah.
They tort and they start eyes rolling back, and it's just the temperature. By the way, the body just elevates temperature in order to boost something called interferon to fight the virus. By the way, and I want to hear
he goes his fever, the one that goes crazy. His fever is 104, and no one believes me. I'm like, he fevers so so high, but he is abnormally big, and I believe his immune system, it just isn't big enough for his body yet. It's going to catch up. It's a little engine. It's supposed to be, and then it grows.
We have just learned, once again, I think it's maybe the umpteenth time we were learning this, that Tylenol, acetaminophen, that acetaminophen is, even after a single dose, especially in the first 7 years, so harmful to the liver. Unfortunately.
Great. Every time you would leave the doctor's office, they'd be like, just give them Tylenol.
Right.
Great.
Well, let's have this conversation.
What
because
about Advil's terrible too?
Well, no, not so much. In my personal opinion, you might have a different one. In my opinion, this is an anti-inflammatory. So Tylenol plays a role to mask the brain from feeling anything. That's what it does.
Right.
But it's also incredibly liver toxic, hepatotoxic.
But I thought so was Advil.
Advil's blocking what's called the prostaglandin downstream pro-inflammatory cascade of hormones.
My one kid lived on
that's a
it.
very specific function, and anything in the over-the-counter too much is not good.
Yeah.
But acetaminophen in particular has serious impact. Even
I'm
after
glad
a
I
single
liked
dose.
Advil better than Tylenol.
Yeah.
I was an Advil girl,
Me
not a
too.
Tylenol. Advil felt more powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, just recent studies just came out even confirming that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just in
Huge
the last
cohort
few
studies.
weeks,
Yeah.
How do we turn back time?
Yeah, no. Well,
No, next generation. Now have another baby, you can start again.
yeah.
No, but here's I gotta intercede on that one. How do you turn back time? A child is growing, changing, developing until they
Die.
end their life. So everything you do from this moment on can change, reverse history, rewrite history, the whole thing. So that's the beauty of a child, is that they're changing and changing every day.
So we can reverse time, is what you're saying.
Not to mention, if we got organ specific for a minute, in the body, like the liver is the fastest to turn itself over entirely. So even a liver that has a little bit of excess toxin, most commonly, alcohol-induced fatty liver, for example, then there's NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But in either of these instances, or somebody has to take Tylenol too frequently, unbeknownst to them, you can reverse that in about 180 days. The liver is new again. So
that's
there's
such
another
great
turn back time.
news.
Yeah.
Like everything is replacing itself.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
cell in your body. So it's just a matter of putting in the right input.
Oh my God, I have so many questions for you. I won't ask them though, because it's all over the place.
Step into his office. What's your position, the two of you separately or together, on household cleaners? Do you guys take a stance on that? Do you care?
I
Does
do.
it matter?
I
the
just
envir-
recently have. Not environment.
Yeah, what did you learn?
No, I just don't like the smell of, like, bleaches make me be like even the...
Visceral response?
I just find it weird that...
We have the same cleaning ladies, and they were using that bleach, and that everybody in the house hated that smell.
Yeah,
and
so
then we changed it.
I use natural products now.
Yeah, good for you.
When did you switch?
Like this year.
Yeah, it's been a long time of that smell.
Yeah, no, I was like, we need to, and then I steam clean rather than like use Swiffers. Like I just don't like the smell of
like fake cleaner.
Yeah, I don't
or
like
harsh
it.
cleaners.
Yeah, it smells gross.
You know what? It's, one of my, what's the word? One of the facts that really impressed me. As soon as you smell something, it's in your brain.
Oh, yeah, literally. Yeah, the chemical itself.
The millisecond you smell something, you smell it because it's already in your brain.
That's
So
gross.
never underestimate the power of, what.
Not liking that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen what the Environmental Working Group has done? This is like, or no?
No.
Oh, this is, so EWG has a verified program, which by the way is for cosmetics as well. They have a cosmetic database, but they have is your home healthy, and you can actually do a, EWG verification to make sure that, the right ingredients, there's all the, science-based transparency, traceability factors. But you look at finding products, so skin, hair, makeup, sun care, fragrance. You mentioned fragrance and it being in your brain. Phthalates, PTHA, phthalates.
Yeah.
Which are, the stuff that actually translocates the chemical. This is the smell, is one of the most powerful hormonal mimetics. So it's a hormonal disruptor. It's an estrogenizer. So like you smell this affecting your brain. But in guys, it can estrogenize us too much. Same with women. But it precursors cancer, believe it or not. Right? So
For smell?
For high fragrance, by the way, that's even in perfumes. So not just like the stuff coming out of the Glade plugins. I'm talking about anything that smells a lot, has a high amount of phthalates in it, which literally the evidence is there, especially some people more than others, correlates to cancer, particularly estrogen related.
Like just for putting on our bodies, like we do all the time, for all of our skincare and makeup, if it has a high fragrance, we should probably try something else.
Right. And so you look at all these products, it's not it could be either ingredient specific or brand specific, and then you can check it against the database to see how it was rated. So they rate these things. And again, you know what? It's not to get crazy? Right. Jinx on you.
Because it can feel crazy.
It's to manage what you're able to manage.
Yeah.
It's also expensive, right? Like, unfortunately.
Not so much more anymore.
Okay, good.
No.
By the way, you know what the most powerful house cleaner is?
Vinegar.
And water.
Baking soda.
Right. Vinegar, water, baking soda. That's the cheapest of cheap.
I hate
And
the
if you want a
smell
little
of vinegar,
essential
too.
oil, well, you know what? You can mask it. You put a couple of your drops of your favorite essential oil in that, and it takes the vinegar out.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
If there's one supplement, one only, can only pick one from 0 to 7, and then 7 and beyond.
I already know what he's going to say.
Okay, what is it?
Okay.
Don't say vitamin D.
So from 0 to 7,
Yeah.
I can't separate the two. Vitamin C and DHA,
Omega.
omega-3, DHA.
Okay, and 7 to and beyond?
7 beyond, multivitamin.
Multivitamin.
Yeah, you got to get all your micronutrients.
Okay, and
even if you're having a well-balanced diet, you need to supplement on the side.
So we talked about this just before. So U.S. British governments have tested all the commonly eaten fruits and vegetables since 1946, every year. What's the amount of vitamins? What's the amount of minerals? From then to now, even if you get like really good organically grown food, average 20 to 30% less of all the vitamins and minerals.
Why?
The soil's gotten depleted. You know, we got how many billion people now eating off the same soil?
Yeah, agricultural practices are ridiculous. Like, there's no soil rotation in North America anymore. They do in some parts of Europe follow.
So vitamin C and omega forever.
So I think those are the forever one. Vitamin C, because of all the antioxidants, it's the one simple one that's capable of detoxing plastics, metals, chemicals, phthalates, even radiation.
I take that.
Yeah. So that's for kids.
So proud of myself.
So I'll tell you something. On the show,
My kids don't, but I do. I'm winning.
This is for you, your kids. Is for anyone you know. A good friend of ours, Dr. Bill Harris, invented this technology. We're all about knowing your numbers and not just sort of touting the latest science.
You get to take it?
So what this
Testing.
is a simple little blood test, and you can look for omegas. You can look for even prenatal in mother's milk.
Whoa.
DHA.
You can do your dog?
So simple. Yeah, you can do your pets. Simple little blood prick test, and you can know what your percentage of these omegas are. So that you need to. So we have this sort of slogan as well. You can't usually, especially in this day and age, eat yourself into therapeutic range. Meaning, if you need that vitamin C in addition, so like you have somebody with a rare case of myositis and during flare-ups you want to support their mitochondria, you're never going to be able to eat enough pineapple in that time. You have to get it in supplement form, bromelain.
So vitamin C is very good for that kid then that I talk of.
Well, and also enzymes, like I was alluding to.
Can you get
pineapple.
this in Canada?
Yeah,
you test yourself?
Omega Quant is something
You
anyone
just
can.
mail it in. You just get the kit, mail it to them.
Yeah.
God, they should sponsor our podcast. A lot of people don't do that.
You can test and address, right? Know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're navigating blindly. That's what we say all the time.
That's how we feel about menopause.
That's a whole nother episode.
Here's the other part of what Bryce was just saying in terms of therapeutic. As well as the quantity of those vitamins and minerals being less in the foods we eat today, at the same time, the environmental burden toxicity, metals, plastics, chemicals, has gone like sky high. So you need extra of that antioxidant to deal with what the kids are being exposed to.
Yeah.
So it's two things. Make up what's missing in the diet, plus you need extra to deal, to neutralize, detox, and eliminate what's they're being
How much
exposed
vitamin C should people be taking?
to. Minimum adult 1,000. Minimum.
Minimum. And kids?
Depending on the age, it's a little bit more, but
Is it size or age?
it's bowel tolerance, actually.
Yeah.
What's that?
Wait till, it's basically until you get loose stool and cut back a bit.
Yeah,
On vitamin C?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So Linus Pauling, the real hero of vitamin C, double-time PhD.
It's a guy or a vitamin or a thing
No,
or an
he's a
ingredient?
guy. He's a
Got
real guy.
won a Nobel Prize
the-
for
he's the-
research.
He
on it.
created vitamin C?
He's the father of the supplement industry. So in the 60s, he's a PhD chemist and PhD Nobel Prize laureate. 1960s, the research was coming out on vitamin C. Somehow he made it his passion. Did all the research. Said, this is
God's gift.
Yeah.
And here's how you find out how much you need.
And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 20,000 milligrams every day for the rest of my life.
20,000?
And my wife is going to take 10,000.
It was an experiment.
Her bowel tolerance. Mine is 20. And he took that, all the MDs, all the medical, you can imagine in those days, he was the biggest quack that ever existed, right? But he's got like twice the qualifications of anybody. And they, tried to decry him and put him in a box and everything. He's still, so 93 he passed away, traveling, lecturing around the world.
So why don't we all
93
do
years
that?
old.
At 93.
Then why don't we all take as much?
Do you know how much vitamin C that is?
Well,
we would have to
That's a lot. You
eat
know,
a bottle a day.
Yeah.
A bottle. We would have to eat a bottle of vitamin C a day.
Like 1,000, most of the benefits, especially if you do it every day, but you can go 2,000 or 3,000 a day.
Yeah, especially in cold and flu season.
Yeah.
So can kids, by the way. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one of the besides magnesium kind of drawing water to the bowels of a child's constipated, you can use vitamin C without worrying about causing diarrhea. But you can soften
My
the
kids
stool.
love magnesium at nighttime.
Yeah, it's helpful.
It's great.
It's so helpful.
Well, it's a gummy, and they think it's not drugs. It's not a real gummy. It's like magnesium gummy.
Those are the real gummies. The other ones. But yeah, magnesium. There's all kinds of different types of magnesium too, by the way.
Yeah, I know glycinate, biglycinate, therinate,
Very good.
L-therinate,
Yeah.
L-theanate,
Threonate and
and
theanine.
Yeah, theanine. I
Yeah,
mean,
theanine's another. That's an amazing ingredient.
I guess I'm a doctor.
If you're gonna take theanine, here's a tip though. Sun theanine. You got to look. So on the bottle, Child Life prides themselves, and this is.
But
Dr.
it's only
Murray's line.
children.
Right. No, but he as a formulator, and I can speak on his behalf here, prides himself on what's in the bottle. That is to say, Intel inside in a computer, right? So what's inside, that's all that matters. It's what's inside that counts, right? Anyway, if you're going to use theanine, you got to use sun theanine. It's a fermented product, so it comes from fermentation rather
Like a pickle.
than most of the industry is making the synthetic. And this and it's not only do you not want synthetic, you want proven science evidence-based forms of. So what does even theanine do? By the way, it's found in green tea. It's
Yes.
found in green tea, but it's prohibitively expensive to pull it out of green tea and make a supplement. So these engineers at Tayo, which is a manufacturer of sun-theanine, have made a fermentation process that extrapolates naturally exactly what's in green tea. But here's what it does, and this is why I'm belaboring
Those are
this
so
point.
smart.
This is better mood, relaxation, focus, concentration, and sleep that you alluded to earlier, which is the pivotal apex of health.
But that's a conundrum.
In a
'cause-
pill.
Oh, okay. I was going to say green tea
In a
keeps you awake.
chewable. No. There's no caffeine. Oh, by the way, that brings up another point. This tempers caffeine. This literally takes the jitters. So if you're consuming caffeine, you want to reduce the jitters. Oh, you want to hear more?
Yeah.
Two.
Yes.
So 200 clinical trials, 90 of which are probably like really steadfast, amazing. 5 of which were done in children with ADHD, had them sleep better, and then therefore better focus and alertness the following day.
Who knew? Just
Yeah.
need a few supplements and we
Sun-theanine.
wouldn't need our Vyvanse.
Sun-theanine.
Sun, that's the ingredient you want to look for in the bottle. Sun-theanine. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we get a lot of questions on the show. People asking from social
There's
media.
questions now, too.
Oh my! Well, some of these, I don't know. We can ask you guys. Some we can ask Dr. Murray.
Okay.
The first one of which is my toddler only eats 3 foods. Oh yeah, the picky eaters. Oh my God! You guys
Yeah.
mentioned one or a
Crackers.
few.
know.
It's like crackers, yogurt, and
I just
cheese.
feel bad for all those
White,
parents.
white.
They're
That's
so
what I feel.
stressed.
Crackers, yogurt, and cheese is like the toddler diet.
Right.
Yeah, but the parents are so stressed.
Right. So should they worry? I mean, first of all, so you guys
Your
start with the
experience.
answer. What's your experience, and how do you? Did you shove the multivitamin down the kids that
I'm
did
going to
that?
say
or-
this, and I will say that kids have a tendency to pick up on what you stress about.
Right.
And sometimes it's a power struggle. There is an age where you can't control what they want, and the more focus you put on it, the more fun it is for them to have control over it, because they have very little control over a lot of things. When you kind of sit back, you'll always notice your kids are better eaters at other people's houses because they don't have the control. So much of parenthood is a control and power trip, and we fight over it, and we fight really only over food, bed, and kind of potty training when they're little are the things that kids can control. Nothing else they control. You can pick them up, put them in a car seat. So I think a lot of it is stop hyper focusing. leave food out. Don't cater. Don't bend. Don't make it the topic of conversation. And don't label your kid as a picky eater because they probably take pride in that. And
Yeah, they're like, I have
got
a label.
You.
I have
got
something
you.
different than my siblings.
You put them in like a group setting, they'll eat what everyone's eating. It's sort of like what they do. And I think that we isolate toddlers and we make them eat. But often if you put out food, they'll walk and eat. Toddlers are naturally
You'll
grazers.
you'll never have heard us say like, okay, one more bite, or you can't go do that till you finish your plate. And in fact, like there were times at school where they would have lunch at school, and they would be like, the lunch lady said I had to finish my meal before I left, and we had to write notes and say we need a note to say that we don't have to finish our meal, and we just wrote. And we're like, they know what they need, and they'll eat when they're hungry, and you don't need to force them to eat. And we had to actually give permission for that.
I think there's kids who have issues, and that's a different issue than someone who just is choosing to not eat what they put in front of them, because 9 out of 10 times the parent gave them what they wanted rather than leaving the food out. And to this day, I hope this toddler mom's listening, when they come home, the kids will be like, there's nothing to eat, even though the fridge is full.
Yeah.
If I make like a full fruit platter, veggie platter, like put all the food out, it's gone. They'll eat it. It's just, you just got to put it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like
100%.
Don't ask what they want, which I'm guilty of.
You know, the only thing that we kind of did, in fact, this gets the kids involved, we found successful. I can't remember where I read it. I certainly didn't make this up, but have your children, starting as young as possible, maybe 3 years old, audit the fridge. What are they auditing? They're actually auditing for color. So the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And if they get the autonomy, they get the ability to tell you, hey, Mom, we're out of green and purple. And then they get to choose, because who cares? We don't care if they eat blackberries or purple grapes, but something purple.
Yeah.
And so when we go to the grocery store, then they get to choose their purple and refill the fridge. They're involved now, right? So that level
Also,
of
just
control.
put it out. They'll eat it.
But yeah,
put
so
it
then you put
out.
it out. Right.
If I put grapes in the fridge, they stay in the fridge for 3 weeks. I put grapes out, they're gone in 10 minutes.
Right.
I also remember
There's something called a crisper. I have to open that thing?
I'm not joking. From a very young age, that's what they do. Or they'll just go to the granola cupboard because it's easier to grab that than to open up a fridge.
And then I also liked when we ate a lot of apples in the house, but different kids like a particular apple. And so I would just get the apple that they love, and then they felt like they were being like accommodated, and they're like, these are my apples. I love these apples.
By
and
the
then
way,
they would
there's
eat them.
nothing other than pink ladies.
Gala.
No.
A Honey Crisp is pretty delicious.
Honey Crisp.
No.
I like Honey
They're
Crisp.
too sweet and
Honey
juicy,
Crisp.
like
And
dripping all down
Fuji?
my mouth.
There's another
Fuji with peanut
What's
butter.
the other one?
Envy. They come from New Zealand. They developed it.
I've actually
never
had
even
them.
heard of that.
I know them. They
we
come
have
in a
them
bag.
at our
Yes,
grocery
we
store?
do. Yes, we do.
And
A
me-
lady's on them. It's a lady in the bag
No.
with ENVY.
Maybe in Canada.
It's a lady. I know. I can see the lady in my head. It's a like black and
Envy.
red lady. It's black and red. The thing. No.
Not here, but
I'm gonna look it up and show you Envy because I know Envy.
Have we eaten them? Do we like
My
them?
kids like Chloe loves apples. She's
But
only
they're an
one.
original variety. They're not GMO'd or anything.
they're not GMO, but they're not original.
Oh, they're not original.
No.
Okay. Well,
But-
what
but
apple
they were-
is?
yeah.
I mean, like the crab apple, I think is.
But there's
Yes.
nothing GMO'd about them.
That's good. Do you want to hear how weird my son was? He's 4 years old, and he would remind me. He'd hear that I'd be going shopping to the grocery store, and so he'd call me on my cell phone, Daddy, don't forget the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
What? This kid's weird. And Granny Smiths. That's all he was into. Like, what kid is into Granny Smith apples?
Your child,
Yeah,
and
apparently.
I know why, because you love it and
What are you
talk
trying to
about
say?
it. It's probably the dinner tables. Like, did
I
you
don't know
know
that there
there's
was
75 nutrients in one?
I'm not sure I endorsed Granny's. Not only that, I
what child
probably, if
into that?
anything,
Yours.
For me, Brussels sprouts taste like under armpits. Like I
No.
just.
And you
Even
put them
when
like
they're
balsamic
roasted and
vinegar.
delicious?
And roasted them with some
but no, I can
brown
appreciate. I'm not
sugar.
saying I don't eat them because they're actually sulfur donors, by the way.
Put some salt,
Cruciferous.
put some salt
taste.
on them.
Yeah, they're good.
Just fry them.
not
Sulfur
bad.
donor, does that mean like they make you fart?
No, yeah, they could. They do.
do.
Cruciferous vegetables.
why.
Okay, cruciferous. Everyone should know this. Cruciferous vegetables, great for kids as well. Cruciferous vegetables. This is broccoli, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Most greens that are sprouts.
Yum.
They help bodies metabolize
Liquor.
estrogen. Yeah, liquor as well. Liquor.
Well, we
And
love
they just
all that.
detoxify. They help you detoxify, especially.
Huge part. all the sulfur molecules are big detox.
We love all those foods. So
I
we're
do
good.
love all those
everything
foods
you just
with
listed,
lots
we
of
love
things on them.
Do you guys allow your kids to do screen time? One of the followers from Facebook's asking how much screen time is too much. For a 6-year-old in particular, they're getting specific. But
do you want to know? We created a screen time guide. We have a separate company called The Common Parent because we hit tween and teen years, and there are no guidelines. There's guidelines, but there's no help in what to do, and you're just constantly told what a bad parent you are. And we've consulted with doctors and with therapists, and we know it's a problem. Everyone knows screens are a problem, but we had no. If you go to the Screen Sense Guide, we created. It's over 100 pages of step-by-step per app, we do Roblox, we do everything. There's, I think, 140 pages
cool.
right into how the dopamine works and how, parents will spend $300 on private lessons for their hockey.
Psychologists?
No, for their sports. When all they have to do is put their phone away 2 hours before they go, and they'll be 20% better an athlete.
Right.
All of the sleep, everything. So we created something really easy for parents to follow to the point of privacy settings, screen time settings, Snapchat settings.
Really easy step by step, because we found
Wow, good for you guys.
We
I
found there was
had no
a lot
idea.
of steps, and a lot of parents are always talking about how worried they are, how scared they are. I remember when the Adolescence, the documentary came out, and everyone was talking about how worried we should be, but then no one actually did anything, and nobody knows how to do it. So we did it for ourselves, and then we want to create something that other people could share. So all
the websites to block, all the apps to block. I don't know if I can say this, but there's probably 100 corn sites that everyone thinks of one, but you hit the wrong YouTube link and you're going to a site. It happened to one of our children who landed on the wrong thing when they were looking up something else. And then you realize that they feel shame, and they thank God they can talk to us, but he was so afraid he was in trouble for what he got on.
Right.
But it wasn't his fault. It was a link, but it was the shame he carried. I'm like, this isn't your fault. Thank you for telling me. This is that person's fault for putting that in a kid's game, So
instead of saying how many hours your kid should be on, if you care at all, there's just, you have to educate yourself on what needs to be done.
I know. I think we're going to partner.
Huge
We're partnering
resource.
with a pediatrician who will do the younger years because she's seen it in her practice. So she's going to help us develop actual habits for parents, and we'll develop together habits for these parents. It's not screen time, it's what's their relationship with screen time.
Right,
What's their
exactly.
habit with screen time? Are they able to handle screen time? It's not if your kid might not be able to deal with 2 hours because it takes you 4 hours to get them back on track. Right? So it's really dependent, and I don't think parents know. We don't have the skills. We just think it's a finite time. It's absolutely not. Do they get off and feel terrible about themselves?
Right.
Is it hard for them to move from screen to not screen?
Do they
we
get
were saying,
angry?
we remember when our kids were babies and they were like, don't let them watch any TV. And now, for all of our kids, we would much prefer them to be watching a movie or a TV show than scrolling through, all these apps.
What do they call it? Doom scrolling?
Yeah. We love our kid. We want them to come watch TV because TV is
it's
put
a
it away
conversation.
and a conversation, and you're watching the relationships and the character
When you're
development.
sharing a moment where most of the time, if you're scrolling, you're really into your own.
You're all by yourself.
If someone once told us a long time ago, screens are lean in and TVs lean back.
Yeah.
So you're watching everything around you. You're interacting with people. You're talking. Screens. There's nothing else around you.
Right.
You don't blink.
This is very cool. We had no idea that you guys were doing this. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
This is a great resource. Really.
The common parent.
Yeah, and we have a lot of, we consulted with a lot of people and therapists. Everyone across the board has seen problems. And our kids have screen time, our kids have screens, our kids have phones. We are not someone who's, we are regular moms trying to navigate. We come out of COVID, which was they got in trouble if they weren't on their screen. It was the way they connected. They formed habits. And then we yell at them for now to get off of it. It's a very confusing time. So all of us have to take responsibility as parents, as adults, as, it's not just the teenagers who are the problem.
Almost full circle here.
It leads into the perfect question, this one. This is a mom. I feel guilty about not being a Pinterest mom. Does that guilt affect my kids?
Yes.
For sure.
It does.
For sure. They can feel it.
I think our whole mission is there's absolutely we have two moms who did this journey solo, our moms, and it was not perfect. It was crazy.
Both
it was
your moms.
messy. Yeah, single moms. I don't like to call them single because they were powerhouses. They were super moms, and I think that we would never choose anyone different, and your kids would never choose anyone different. So why teach them that you want to be someone different? You know, like if you go to bed wishing you were someone else, then what does that teach them about you and them? Your kids really just want you. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter how you cook, it doesn't matter. They would choose no one different. And you know, I was a social worker, and the kids who were even sadly harmed by their parents often still desperately just want their parents who they just want that person. That, which is kind of a messed up situation, but if you have a healthy relationship with your kids, you're so freaking lucky because they don't want you to change.
Yeah.
They want you.
Even though sometimes they'll say that.
Oh my God, they hate you a lot of the time and some of the time, but they don't fundamentally
don't.
wish you to
They
change.
want you.
You would choose your mom over and over and over again.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Most of us would. I know not everyone.
No, I think that's a true. I think that's a universal truth. What does it remind me of? It reminds me of putting a newborn chick or a duck in front of a wolf. It'll follow it around, and that's all it ever wants. And you present it with the duck mom, and it's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Or that book. What's the kid's book? Are You My Mother?
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a hoot. It's been a lot of fun, and we spent a lot of time talking about
Everything.
being real, everything, right? Yeah, a lot of
Everything.
which we've had to cut out, and a lot of things people
We've
won't
had
heard.
to cut out. Well, it's a really good conversation. I feel very sorry for you.
What's next for you guys? Where are you guys going? Where are you touring?
Yeah, we're doing Canada right now.
Yeah.
We're all over Canada. And what's next? I mean, can't wait for another phone call from the first 7 years. We'll be back in LA.
There's so much more to cover. Well, one thing I took away is progress over perfection, right? Like being a real mom. And nothing against crunchy moms, but sometimes they just maybe, are overly anxious and the kids feed off of
I
that.
love that. You just threw crunchy moms under the bus. Amazing. No, I think
We gotta laugh at ourselves.
I think we're all doing the best we can, and everyone give yourself a break because it goes by fast. It really goes by fast. I hate that. I hate that people say that, but there is a lot of time.
Yeah.
There is so much time to just live your life. Have fun.
Yeah.
In the same vein, I'm so impressed by you both. Not just your candor and your realness and your naturalness, but when you need to, you investigate better than most scientists and doctors.
I'm so proud. I knew I was a doctor in my last life.
So that combination is rare, it's beautiful, precious. So thank you for being here.
Thank
By
you
the
for
way,
having us.
you
Thanks
also
for having
know
us.
above and beyond, any of the heroic antibiotics that have come into play, nutraceuticals, vitamins, minerals, what the real best medicine is.
Moms,
Love.
Yeah, maybe second. Well, yeah, it's up there. Come on, guys.
Sleep.
What's the best medicine?
love, fun.
Really? It didn't just come right out?
Cat and Nat.
Vitamin C?
Vitamin H. I was waiting for vitamin H.
Happy?
Humor.
Steroids?
Humor is the best medicine. Laughter.
Yes.
Humor.
Yes,
And keep
we
it up.
feel that.
I
Keep it
tried.
up.
We do. Yes, we will laugh.
Humorists.
Humorous. I like that. What do you do for life?
I'm a humorist.
Do you guys know where your humorous is?
What? In our
Oh.
body, in your leg,
In your arm.
in your wrist.
Parenting isn't about perfection. It's about presence, connection, and surviving the chaos with a little humor along the way. Today's conversation proved that kids don't need flawless parents. They just need real ones, and they'll always want and love you. If you love the laughs and the raw honesty from Cat and Nat, check them out at catandnat.ca for their books, podcasts, and live shows. They're the antidote to mom guilt and a reminder that none of us are in this alone. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to The First 7 Years. Share this episode with a fellow parent who could use both a laugh and some peace of mind. And visit first7years.com for full transcripts, tips, and resources. Progress, not perfection, folks. That's the real parenting win. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Boom.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.